Hello, this is Tilford Thomas of Thomas Computers, and I just want to inform the community of the latest and greatest scam out there. If anything pops up on your computer informing you to call someone, please don't call that number, because those are the hackers. They have charges and fees up to $275 or more, and so you don't want to get caught up in that. The best advice I can give you is to turn your computer off and come see me at Thomas Computers.
Yo, what up? This is DJ Chip, and you are watching New Way to Live Network. Bang.
Phi Beta had become like bullies, and this was during the time when South Columbus Boys Club was the place to be, because they had all the athletic events going on. You know, I don't know what they have going on now, but back then they had football, baseball, basketball, and everybody wanted to be a part of South Columbus Boys Club. And, excuse me, this coffee. But they had a dance just about every Saturday. And, you know, Phi Beta would be there, Phi Sigma would be there. At that time, DAA, Delta Alpha Assassins, from right here over North Star Drive, they weren't going. It's too far out. But Phi Beta would be there, and Phi Sigma would be there. Well, Phi Beta, you know, they would bully people. And Phi Beta and Phi Sigma lovers became enemies. You know, a lot of gang fights. You know, a lot of gang fights. When I say gang, I'm not saying that they were a structured gang. I'm just saying it was a group of people, you know, and they were fighting. And that happened every weekend, and eventually it just spilled over into other areas. Okay, now it's on site. You know, we ain't got to meet up at the dance. It's on site. If I catch you in McDonald's, that's where it's going to happen at. You know, and it got like that. And, you know, you know, these fights started spilling over into other areas, you know, other people felt disrespected, or other people knew people in Phi Beta, knew people in Phi Sigma. You know, like me, I lived on the east side and I lived on the side. So I knew people on both sides. You know, so it would be easy for me to see where, okay, some of my homeboys over here in Baker Village just got jumped on by these guys. But let's say Phi Beta just jumped on them. Okay, well, hey man, I can talk to my homeboys on the east side, and we can ride with them against Phi Beta. You know, and that's how things were happening. You know, little did we know we were, you know, making alliances at that time, you know. But what happened for me is that in our group, you know, neighborhood thing, we found our spot. You know, it starts off with you protecting your neighborhood and not letting any disrespect come to your neighborhood, right? Excuse me, because if like, and I know a lot of people, they may be like, well, everybody say, man, it's all about respecting their neighborhood and protecting. Well, protecting it from what? Well, it's, you know, little simple things. You know, let's say we hang out, and in our neighborhood, we got a nice little area where we can drink. You know, during that time, we were smoking reefers, smoking pot. You know, we could sit back and we could drink undisturbed, and we could smoke and we could have fun. Where people from other areas hear about that. So now everybody want to come along and hang out in that area. But of course, you know, when you have girls out, you know, and everybody ego tripping, you know, people try to make you look bad in front of girls from your neighborhood. And that's pretty much where it starts, you know. Guys start disrespecting you in front of females in your neighborhood. And they start disrespecting your neighborhood. You know what I mean? They might bust bottles out on the road. You like, hey man, we drink out here, man, but we don't bust bottles. People got to ride them down this road. You know, guy might be like, man, I don't care. I ain't from over here, you know. And something just like that, that's what kicks it off. So now, okay, y'all can't come back over here. And, you know, it turns into a fight or whatever, you know. And so now we really got the band together, because now we done got to fight with these guys. Now I really can't go anywhere like I used to go, you know, by myself or one or two guys. Now we got to take a posse, because we don't want to be caught slipping. You don't want to be caught wrong, you know. And so that's how it started. That's how it started.
Anderson, and I am a volunteer here at the Liberty Theater. We have many programs for children. I'm going to highlight just one for you this afternoon, and that's the performance choir. This is a group of children who come together every Monday night for 1 hour to sing. We have an instructor, a well-trained music director who comes, teaches the children the songs. They all get lead parts, and I love watching them grow in confidence and in being so brave to go before a group, and they just learn so many things. Right now we have about 15 students. Our goal by Christmas is to have 50 students. The cost is nominal. We pay $15 a month, and that money goes to pay the instructor. So I hope you'll come out on Mondays and bring your children just for a trial to see if they like it. And I guarantee you they will, and I guarantee you that this will serve them so well in the future. Hope to see you here. Take care.
Hello, it's Cedric Mitchell, and watch me on Tax Tips right here on New Way to Live.
I have a question. Now, is he going to be also taping this? Because we kind of want exclusive on this. We don't want us to. I mean, we're trying to. What we want to do is
exclusive, but we documenting what we're doing as well.
I understand, but see, for us, if he's going to have this video all online with his interview, it's not going to do us any good, because we want to be able to, when we finally, over the next few weeks, we're working on the story, and we get the we want to be able to tell the story fresh. We don't want it to be something that's already circulating online.
Right. No, whatever you do, they will be proud to anything you do.
Okay.
So that's not a problem.
Okay.
But let me just share, let's interject what I was saying. I'm a fraternity man. And one of the things that happened was, at the time, the idea was that, let's go out here and help with these kids, right? So they had like interest groups, like the Kappas, the Sigmas, the Omegas. Okay, but what happened was, at a certain point, they really went. I'll just get back to conversation, but I'm saying I know what took place.
Yes, sir.
They couldn't handle the level of the intensity of the issues. So when they backed out, okay, they still maintained the identity of those interest groups, and so they just kind of took them, just like the Kappas. Okay, they were no longer affiliated with the Kappas, but they go on their own way now, because they're like doing their own thing now, the Sigmas or the Omegas or whatever they might add some other twist to. But that pretty much what was happening. That they would start off as a mentoring experience.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to kind of put it in perspective for you, and that's kind of how they go through.
And you could see it with Phi Beta Omega,
That's
because like I
very
said, they had a
interesting.
sponsor.
I never heard anything like
They
that.
had a sponsor, and so they were more organized, and they would win all the step shows, and they were more organized, and everybody wanted to be Phi Beta. But they kind of got the big head, you know what I mean? And you know how it is, and it just happened they got the big head, so they kind of went to looking down on guys. They didn't want nobody from the South Side, Baker Village being in Phi Beta. It became sort of like elitist. But then the sponsor died. And so Phi Beta kind of just.
And the sponsor was associated with the fraternity, the collegiate fraternity.
I can't remember his name, but he was a fraternal man.
Yeah, that's what he probably was.
He probably was a fraternal man.
Because I know, for example, there's some of the guys, I don't know you remember Larry Moore. I don't know you remember Larry Moore.
Larry Moore?
Right, from out the Shaw.
Yes.
Kids on Forest Road.
Yeah.
Okay, well, see, they were Kappas.
Kappas, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, but they weren't affiliated with Kappa, but they had been the interest, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The mentor, but then when things got so wild, basically the fraternity said, well, we can't be affiliated with it, but you can't stop them from using their name.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
And it just turned into
So
gangs thing.
the idea was, okay, let's have them doing step shows as opposed to violence. But
So prior to this, did Columbus have gangs?
you said they had neighborhood cliques.
Yeah, but there was no formal gangs really in Columbus.
Wasn't no Crips here.
Right.
Wasn't no Bloods here, right? Weren't no GDs. If there were GDs, they didn't have a presence. You know, wasn't no Vice Lords, wasn't no Stones, wasn't any of that.
Wow.
None of that. None of
Very
that. All of
interesting.
this is what led to that.
Wow.
And you can correct me here, that the closest thing, and really that elevated all of what he's saying, in my impression, was the Raiders. Okay, because the Raiders, I don't know whether they unified all South Side, but then the Raiders, and of course they named the junior football team. I mean, wearing all black. You know, the Raiders like Oakland Raiders, you know, but they were the Raiders, and so the Raiders became kind of like major problems. They became a vast, you know, territorial, and I think they overwhelmed. You know, you can speak more to it.
Did you know that in today's society, your credit score is like a vital sign in the hospital? It's being monitored at all times. If not by you, certainly someone else is monitoring your credit. It can have various impacts over your life. It can impact your insurance premiums as well as your interest rates. You can be denied the ability to rent a home, purchase a car, get a credit card, or even more, you can be denied employment. Did you know that over the course of your lifetime, less than an excellent credit rating could cost you over $150,000? 20% of credit reports have errors on them, causing lower credit scores. But did you know this? The Fair Credit Reporting Act gives all Americans, including you, the right to dispute and or investigate any item on their credit report. Inaccurate, erroneous, or obsolete items such as late payments, charge-offs, foreclosures, judgments, repossessions, bankruptcies, tax liens, collections, short sales, medical bills, and many other items can be removed from your credit file or can be updated to reflect paid as agreed. Hey, you don't have a minute to waste. Call me today at 706-366-5520. Again, that's 706-366-5520. Let's get started increasing your credit score.
My name is Ashaya Jordan. I am 12 years old. I am from California, and when I want to be when I grow up is a dance instructor.
Hello, my name is Sylvester Jenkins, pastor of Passover Ministries, and you're watching New Way to Live. Join us on this broadcast as we talk about life skills. God bless you.
Yes, sir. What actually happened with the Raiders, and I just want to get a little focus here, I say. Yes, sir. How long has that been there?
Been all the time.
Was it?
Wow. But what happened with the Raiders is the Raiders were born out of Phi Sigma, out of the void that Phi Sigma had. When Phi Sigma lovers in Baker Village start splitting up, right, and some of their members start embracing the blood ideology or ideology, whichever you prefer. They had like 3 or 4 major Phi Sigma lover leaders who embraced the blood ideology. That's before being Blood and Crips was even popular. It's popular now. But these guys, personal partners of mine, they became Bloods, right? Okay, it wasn't popular. So some of the Phi Sigma guys stayed Phi Sigma. You know, I could name names, but I won't do that. But like 3 of those guys remain loyal to Phi Sigma. One of them is dead, right? 2 of them still are alive, and they're still loyal Phi Sigma men, right? And it's funny because it's been like 25, 30 years almost, right? But the Raiders found a void because some of the Phi Sigma lovers became boys in the hood. You know, boys in the hood is boys in the hood, Raiders, major problems. This is when we start moving away from the fraternal names.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like AK Psi, Kappas, DAA, Delta Alpha Assassin. You know, Phi Beta Omega had disbanded because they never were a gang. Like I said, they had more sponsors. So they were the realest fraternity group on the streets. You know what I mean? That existed without, you know, cats being in college, right? But they disbanded, you know. But Phi Sigma turned into, some of them went to, like a couple went to Bloods, some went to Boys in the Hood, because that West Coast influence of gangs was coming in. It was coming in. You know, Colors had came out, and that influence was coming in. See, the Midwest, GDs, Vice Lords, Stones, that influence hadn't hit yet. You know, the popular influence was the West Coast style gangs. So guys were leaving Phi Sigma and they were starting things like BITH. BITH is an acronym for Boys in the Hood. And that came from the Eazy-E song. Boys in the hood are always hard. Come talking that trash, we'll pull your car. You know, they just took that name and ran with it. Of course, the Bloods, you know, that was a name that was coming out west, right? And so the Raiders, because during this time, everybody was wearing Raider outfits. The most popular rap group and the most rebellious rap group at that time was NWA, right? And they was always wearing Raiders, you know, that black and that silver. Because in California, those were neutral colors. You know, those were neutral colors, right? Now there's something else out there, you know. But at that time, they were neutral. So a lot of times we would see the rappers from Cali, and they would have that on, white T-shirts or black T-shirts, black jeans, because it's neutral. But we didn't know. You know, we Southern boys, we didn't know. We just knew the NWA was speaking to our sentiments, and we could feel them. You know, they say, F the police, that's how we felt. You know, they say, run from the police, that's how we felt. That's what we was doing, you know? And so we seen the Raiders, and we was like, man, that Raider outfit rocking. You know, everybody wanted to wear Raiders. So what the South Side did, Vega Village, and they were very ingenious with this, you know? They came up with the acronym for Raiders. It didn't really apply because what it meant was, let me say this first, it meant ruthless as insane disciples eliminating red slobs.
Hello, I'm Cedric Mitchell, and today we're going to talk about getting an estimate during tax time. You definitely want to get an estimate during tax time. It's very important to shop around, but it's also very important to keep your identity and your secure information safe. When doing an estimate with any tax company, you do not need your full social, your full date of birth, or any of your pertinent information as with your employer. So feel free to get an estimate, but make sure you shop around safely. The year of birth, Social Security card, Social Security is not required, so be careful when getting Social Security cards and W-2s, because there are many tax offices out here that are legitimate, but there are also many that are not. And what they will do is e-file your return as soon as you leave, even though you haven't signed any documentation. A lot of people don't know that the IRS will only take a Social Security number for you or a dependent once. So be careful when you shop around and be safe.
Hello everybody, this is Johnny Newsom with Financial Solution and Associates, and you're tuned into New Way to Live Network.
Right? Ruthless as insane disciples eliminate red slobs. But here's the thing. You're already claiming ties to a Midwest style organization because you're saying insane disciples. But then at the end you say you're eliminating red slob. Now a slob is a derogatory term for a blood. There's no way what you're saying actually, you know, really makes sense, because disciples and bloods ain't enemies. They're on two different coasts. One of them is in, well, not two different coasts. One is in the Midwest, Chicago, Minnesota area, right? And the other is on the West Coast. you know, but it sounded good, and that just shows you how at that time we didn't have a thorough knowledge of what was going on. You know what I mean? We was just attaching ourselves to something, and it's not a slight to the Raiders, because I love Raiders. You know, a lot of my homeboys, a lot of my partners are Raiders. It's just, you know, me trying to highlight where our mind was at that time, and to help you all see how this thing just crept in, right? So,
for clarification, NWA, the acronym is?
Niggas with Attitude.
Okay.
Ice Cube.
Easy E, MC Ren, Dr. Dre.
Okay, gotcha.
You know,
That's what he
DJ
said.
Yella.
Please try not to move your body too much.
Okay,
while
yes,
you're
ma'am.
talking, because you're scratching the microphone.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now I want to back up a little bit,
Okay.
because we've been hearing a lot about the school to prison pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
Before 7th grade, when you were kicked out of school, tell me about what your school experience was like as a child.
Wow. When you ask that question, you know what immediately comes to mind? I was kicked out of school in the kindergarten. Right? I grew up, you know, with brothers and uncles that played sports. Baseball, football, basketball. And I always wanted to be like them. You know, when I was young, I'd put my uncle cleats on. I'd go in his closet, you know, big old shoes, and I'd stick my feet up. Just the sound of the cleats, you know, clamoring against the floor, you know, you know, I wanted to play baseball. I wanted to play football, you know, put his shoulder pads on. My brother's stuff, I put it on. And with all that said, I had a fascination with throwing. My brothers would take me out in the yard, play catch with me. But I had a fascination with throwing. I could out-throw all of my peers because I was always throwing baseballs or throwing a football. And I got off into throwing rocks.
Hi, my name is Felicia L. Hamilton, and you're watching New Way to Live TV.
And at this time, we lived on what's called School Alley, right off North Star Drive. It's behind Dawson Elementary School. It's a dirt road, because we was kind of poor. And I was standing at the dirt road, the edge of our driveway. We had a driveway probably about 100 yards long, dirt driveway. And I was standing there at the bottom of the driveway, and I would just throw rocks at the school. And, you know, they had windows back there, and, you know, if I was really good, you know, me and my friends, we would throw rocks and see who could throw them on top of the building. Then it became target practice. Now I want to try to bust a window, right? And so I would throw rocks, and I bust some windows, you know, and to make a long story short, I was in school. I was in the kindergarten, and Mr. Rivers was the principal, and we were out on the yard. We were out having recreation, and people were, you know, kids my age, they were amazed at how far I could throw, you know, because I was always throwing something. And I remember, you know, taking this rock. You know the kind of rocks that curve, they kind of flat, you know, and I would take that, I took that rock, and I threw it. And it curved and hit a boy in the head. And it bust his head. And, you know, we found out it was me. I threw the rock. And I kind of felt like I knew it was going to curve and get him, you know. And Mr. Rivers took me home. He walked me to the back of the school, and we got to the edge of the driveway, you know, because there was houses down the road, houses right here, you know, a bunch of mailboxes right here. He was asking me, so where did you stay at? I pointed down the road. My great-grandma stayed down there. I pointed down there. He said, down there. He said, come on. Then I pointed over here. He said, where? Right here. And I pointed around, and just so happened my mother was coming to check the mailbox. And she came down, and, you know, that's when he told her. She said, Mr. Rivers, what's going on? He said, wait, Eugene, can you do something with him? we have tried. This was in kindergarten. So, of course my mom told me up, but I was sent home for 2 days. The next incident was 2nd grade. I remember my teacher, Miss Cashwell. I wasn't doing my work, and she told me to not come back to school until I copied a particular page out of a book. And so I didn't go to school that next day. And so when my great-grandmother found out, she asked me, why wasn't I going to school? And I told her. And she called my grandmother her daughter, which is my mother's mother. She was a school teacher, and she called her. And my grandmother came up, and she asked me what was going on. I said, well, Miss Cashwell told me, don't come back to school unless I copied this page. And I didn't copy because I was playing. And my grandmother took me up to school, and she got on my teacher.
Peace and prosperity to you. I'm Dr. J. Aleem Hood, the host and executive producer of Dr. Hood's Visions. You're watching New Way to Live Network.
Hello, my name is Juan Lane, and thank you for tuning in to this station, New Way to Live. Listen, we can't do it without your help. We need you to send your donations in today. This is how this station operates, and we're trying to do the very best for you and your family with the production that we have. We are really giving it our all, but we cannot continue it without your financial support. So please send your offerings in to P.O. Box 3615, Columbus, Georgia 3631903, in care of New Way to Live, and we'll make sure that we get it on so we can keep this great program going. If you and your family are enjoying it, we pray that you continue we pray that you send us a offering that we can continue it and do the very best for you. Also, make sure that you watch our public education program. This is a very special program where it can help you prepare for your next test. The public education program right here on New Way to Live. Thank you. Did you know that the majority of people have no will, trust, or power of attorney? What will happen to your children, property, or other assets? If you can't make decisions for yourself, who will know your wishes? Will the appropriate people know where to find all of your personal and financial documentations and information? Well, we have a program developed by attorneys to complete at your own pace from the comfort of your home. You can update this program as needed with no add-ons or surprise fees. You can secure all of your important information in this virtual password-protected safety deposit box with easy-to-use services and client support system available. Please call me today at 706-366-5520. Again, call me today at 706-366-5520. I hope to hear from you soon.